Obviously, great job in scoring, this big admission from the NIH. Just how big of a deal is this?
It's a big deal,
Yeah.
because it shows that EcoHealth Alliance and the Wuhan lab used American tax dollars to do gain-of-function research. It also proves that EcoHealth Alliance violated the terms of their grant, their tax dollars, by doing gain-of-function experimental research. And lastly, it proves the NIH knew all along what was going on in that Wuhan lab, and they just didn't tell anybody until a year and a half later.
Right. We've seen the evidence from Fauci in the past where they kind of indicate that they believe that gain-of-function research was worth the risk of a potential pandemic. That's how important they think it is. So the worst case scenario is that possibly the NIH knew this was going on, but kind of just was conveniently looking the other way. At best, though, I would say, best case scenario is the NIH is just simply incompetent and is careless with the grant money that they send out. And I just want to know, do you think that this is why Francis Collins quit his job? And what do you think should be done with Tony Fauci?
I think that this is probably the reason Director Collins quit his job. I think you're going to see more and more employees with the NIH and CDC come forward with tidbits of knowledge that they know and are disappointed that their leaders have neglected to be transparent to Congress with. And I think it shows that most government agencies are not good stewards of the tax dollars that they're appropriated by Congress and they dole out in the form of grants. But I think this is a cover-up, and I think that the leadership, including Fauci, realize that this is something that they're going to have to come clean with, or they're going to face criminal charges very soon.
Wow. That's a big statement that you think there's a cover-up here, and I think a lot of people are starting to look at this and think, how could it not be? Because it just seems like the needle keeps moving and moving and moving, and it's, at this point, you'd have to be crazy to think this didn't come out of that lab, and we know we're sending money to that lab. It's something else. Echoing the statement that was given actually by Dr. Collins, the NIH wrote in their letter to you, it is important to state at the outset that published genomic data demonstrate that the bat coronaviruses studied under the NIH grant to EcoHealth Alliance and subaward to the Wuhan Institute of Virology are not and could not have become SARS-CoV-2, which is COVID-19. Given what we know now, how inclined are you to believe even that from them?
I don't believe that. They don't have any credibility with me or with just about every member of Congress right now. I don't think they have any credibility with the American people. What we do know is you're not supposed to be doing gain-of-function research. The United States government shouldn't be a part of that. That is where you take a virus and you genetically alter it to make it worse.
Right.
That is what layman terms would be called mad science. And we don't need to be doing mad science in the United States, and we certainly don't need to be doing it with American tax dollars. So I don't believe anything they say about the origination of COVID-19. Why didn't they come forward with this a year and a half ago? Why have they been so secretive about this? And I think that they're trying to cover their tracks, and honestly, it's going to be too late.
Yeah, you see how defiant, Fauci was when in those interviews with Rand Paul, and you see how angry he got in the one that we played earlier. It's amazing to see, and to know. You just wonder, like, what exactly is in your head when you go through these interviews, when you're up and you're under oath, and you can see the nerves, and you start to understand why now. The Intercept has been reporting a lot on this and done some excellent reporting on this, that EcoHealth and Wuhan have been experimenting with the MERS virus, which is an extremely deadly virus, a virus that kills 35% of the people it infects. So 1 out of 3 people that get it die. What can you tell us about that? Because that is really scary.
Well, we're just learning more about this, and it's certainly something that the United States shouldn't be a part of. And if we were going to have to do something, if you had credible scientists that think we should be doing research on this, we shouldn't be doing it in China. Why would we do anything in China that could potentially risk one American life? I think if there's a country on the globe that we should avoid in doing this type of research, it's China. So the more that's coming out about the research that's being done on the side, behind closed doors, without any government transparency whatsoever, the more concerning it is, and the more proof it is, if we needed more proof, that we need to replace the leadership at the NIH and the CDC.